Our final award today is the Trial Lawyer of the Year award. This award this year goes to Angela Jones and Steve Serisc. They were nominated by a formidable group of attorneys and members of the ITLA: Brian Bradley, Kate Franke, Emily Gennon-Hodson, Dan Ladendorf, Mark Ladendorf, Alex Lamontes, Bob Montgomery, Barry Ruth, Dan Vinovich, David Wilson, and Holly Wojcik all joined in nominating these two attorneys for this award. I'd like for, I think Mark and Betsy are going to introduce Angela and Steve and talk about the accomplishments that led them to gain this award. Betsy, Mark, are you guys here?
Mark gets to go first because I'm going to talk about Angela. Betsy goes second, about Steve. I took the pretty one. You know, that's the way it is. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Esteemed group of judges, everyone who's here to celebrate this award for Angela and Steve. And I'd like to say a couple things about the award. I've been doing this since I think 45 years now, coming to these seminars. And I can honestly say that this is the greatest group of people I've ever been around. And I've been through a whole lot of cases, a lot of different things. This is a group of people that gives when asked and gives when not asked. And the listserv, phone calls, all the things that all of you have done to put this group together and to keep it vibrant. I want to thank all of you for letting me be part of it. I'd also like to thank all the people who are behind the scenes, the paralegals and our groups that we work with, the vendors who are here today, and all the other people who have been part of this association. I've been called upon to introduce Angela Jones as a co-recipient of the Trial Lawyer of the Year. So many times this award has gone out because someone won a big verdict and has an enormous monetary award in their pockets. This year is different, for we honor two litigators who do not have a verdict yet and actually had to try a case all the way to a directed verdict against them. But they kept going. They kept showing their guts and their toughness to keep going to the appellate court and then to our Supreme Court, who made an incredible reversal of what was going on and what kept going on in Indiana law, so a person would not be directed out in their case in chief. Their victory at the Supreme Court in a 5-0 decision led the way in the future for other lawyers to take these cases to trial and never turn back against the insurance industry. It changes the law in Indiana for the betterment of all citizens. And for that, we have to be proud. In essence, Angela and Steve's case was about a full-fledged fight of nearly 8 years for justice and the right to trial by jury, the very same maxims that are part of this great organization. I'd also like to thank Nick Dietz and Tyler Zeit for doing the amicus on this case, and for Tara Worthley to keep the amicus group going as they've had, for we've certainly had some success, but most importantly, we've had so much work put into these amicus so that this type of group can, this type of award can be given. Anyhow, I'm here to talk about Angela. Angela Jones is a 5'2" fireball who, if I stand next to her, I feel like a giant, because I think she's probably about 110 pounds. Having said that, she's a mother of two beautiful children, Evie and Ada, who are 9 and 8, respectively. She's a former all-state soccer player out of Munster High School and was a 3-sport athlete there. She now coaches girls in soccer and plays competitive in a year-round women's league. After graduating from college, she earned a master's degree in business administration and worked as a claims adjuster for the dark side, which I believe was Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. She had an inkling in her after obtaining her master's degree to continue a legal education, and she did so at Stetson University in Florida, where she won, as part of her group, a trial advocacy award as a national champion, which is something that not many people have in their resume. She reads 4 to 5 books a month, has 9 tattoos, none of which I've seen, and holds the distinction of climbing the Walter Payton statue at Soldiers Field while leaving a Bears game, which I actually was witness to. You wouldn't be the first woman. So, she's a fiery, tenacious, intelligent, yet kind, caring, and understanding to others. I have a true respect for her, and when I heard about this case that they had, by going to the Bears game, little by little, I was getting fed this case that they did, and I realized this is something that needs to be brought up to our group, because this is not always about money, and that she had to take this case with Steve and their firms to the highest level to get justice, and they received it. She's a true model of what this award means and a great example of the power of women in our society. Having been part of the ITLA for 45 years and being at damn near every seminar they've ever thrown, I am very honored to present Trial Lawyer Co-Recipient of the Year Award to Angela Jones.
That's going to be a hard act to follow. I'm at 40, let's see, I think I've been in this organization, I think now 37 years, not quite 40. Steve, when you called and asked me to introduce you, I was so honored. You are the epitome of what a trial lawyer is and should be. To tell you a little bit about Steve, and I knew that we've always had this great connection. I maybe didn't know why till I started doing a little bit of research. You're an English major too. Only he got his degree at the University of Chicago, and then we both went to the same law school in Bloomington. And so I think of Steve. When I think of Steve, I always think of Kevin. You guys have been together now for 20 years. Steve's been practicing for 30 years. And Kevin Smith would be here, but in true trial lawyer firm fashion, Kevin is waiting on a jury up in, northern Indiana or Illinois? Cook County. So I guess they've been deliberating since yesterday at noon, so everybody send positive waves to Kevin, otherwise he would be here. But when I think about Steve, I think about community. Steve is part of so many communities, and because we live so far away, I really follow him more on Facebook than I get to see him in person. But I know how you feel about your community. I know that you love your community, and I know that you volunteer and that you do work and that you coach speech, the debate teams, and that you participate with your high school and young people. And I know that you're proud of the Lake County Bar Association. I know because you said you're one of the most proudest awards you got was the President Awards you got from the woman sitting right next to you when she was president of the Lake County Bar Association. But mostly, Steve, when I think about you and everyone, when I think about Steve, this case for which you all got this award, deservedly so, and oh, by the way, in all these years, have you ever seen 11 nominators for a Trial Lawyer of the Year? I think y'all set a record, and that's awesome. But this case really epitomizes, Steve, I think, what I admire so much about you. And that is that you believe in right, and that there is a right, and that it's worth fighting for. And these people, you all fought for almost 8 years for this family. And so for me, that's, when I think about you, I think about tenaciousness, about belief in right, and about that you're hopeful, that you believe that there's a better tomorrow, there's a better future, and that you can help make a better life for your clients. And that's what you're going to do for this family, both of you. So I'm going to leave you all with some words of wisdom from Mr. Serisc himself. I think these things sort of epitomize what I think about you. One of the things that you say is, hope is the only thing stronger than fear. And that's your hopefulness and your belief in right, and in the right to trial by jury, and in the right of citizens to make decisions to compensate people who have been wrongfully injured. But this one, I think, epitomizes you maybe a little bit more. Even on a tough day, some simple joy can make you feel better. And so I'm going to leave you with one last Steveism, and that is happy almost Friday. Congratulations.
All right, and Steve and Angela, you want to come on up and...
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, yes. There we go. Thank you, ITLA. Thank you, Mark, maybe. I told him that if he mentioned the Walter Payton statue, I was going to knife him to death. So that may still happen yet today. And don't believe everything you hear. I'm 5'3", and I do weigh more than 110 pounds. But this is so incredibly humbling and really unexpected. Mark was dead accurate. This is a long haul case. It's been a long haul case. We are going to try it for a second time in February. And I hope, sincerely hope, that this is the first and last case I ever have to try a second time. And to put it into perspective, when this case came in the door, my youngest daughter was just turning 1, and she'll be 8 next week. And that really puts it into perspective for me. That has been a long time. But I remember the day that case came in like it was yesterday. And I was sitting in my office at the time with Steve in Munster, and I was listening to Christine Cosme, the plaintiff, and she was telling me this insane story. Really the story of her case, about what happened to her, and her asking me and really pleading with me, help me. Somebody has to help me. What happened here was not right. Please help me. Of course, over the past several years, relaying this exact same crazy, insane story to my colleagues, or Steve relaying this story to colleagues, the response was very similar. That's a crazy case. You're crazy for taking it. I'm not sure I would ever take that case. I always took that as a compliment. I always felt that crazy meant that this case was spectacular, and I still feel that way. I've always been a good student and consider myself a good student to this day. I love observing people and learning from some really great trial attorneys, a lot of which are in the room today. In any event, I have a theory, and that theory is that there's a lot of greatness in crazy. And the only way to be great is to be, to some extent, crazy. So considering that theory, I'm surrounded here today by a lot of crazy people. And maybe the Indiana Trial Lawyer of the Year award is really just announcing that Steve and I are also crazy. So thank you for that. But in all seriousness, I was dead passionate about this case from day one. And at your core, if you dig down there, sift through the many years of practice, the trials, the tribulations, the wins, the losses, the day-to-day bull that you deal with on a daily basis that weighs on us, I am confident that we can all find that pilot light is still on in there. That pilot light that says, do the right thing, fight for the right thing, help people. My pilot light still burns for that purpose, and I hope it never goes out. And I can tell you that, boy, it never has. And I'm not saying, listen, go guns blazing, emotional, full throttle in every single case. But so long as that pilot light still burns for that purpose, there will always be an emotional aspect to your work. And as much as I think crazy creates greatness and makes greatness, so does passion and purpose. I've found so much passion and purpose in this organization on a daily basis. And I'll give you one example out of thousands. It must have been a week or so ago, Whitney Beck reported a defense verdict. Out of the woodwork, multiple emails to her, happened to me, get back on the horse, keep fighting, don't give up. So much support for one of our own. And man, what a home. What a home to be a part of. What a home ITLA has created for so many people. And I'm thankful to be a part of that home. And ITLA helped us in this case. ITLA brought us the amicus counsel. We had Tyler Zipes and Nick Dietz, who smart as all get out and really clutch for us in this case, and to whom I cannot thank enough. Like I said, crazy, passionate, purposeful people, all with the same pilot light. And among my blessings that I'm thankful for is my wonderful support system that I have. And you know who you are. Some of you are sitting at this table. Some of you couldn't make it. Some of you wanted to remain nameless. And one of you couldn't be here because you thought you were going to get knifed for walking in the door because you were a defense attorney. But the point is, these are my real MVPs. Always there for me, always pushing me, supporting me, encouraging me, feeding me when I forget to eat. Happens a lot. But chief among you is Steve Serisc, my co-counsel, the Stan to the Stangela. Steve, without a doubt, is the most intelligent person I have ever met, and frankly, a maverick in a courtroom. I've tried several cases with Steve. I can tell you right now, if you have not seen him try a case, you are missing out. He is, I can confidently say, the most amazing attorney I have ever met. And juries love him, so it benefits me to bring him in the courtroom. Not only is he all of those things, but he's one of my closest friends. No one more passionate, no one more purposeful, and no one more crazy than you, Steve. To that, I end with my family, my dad, my mom, my siblings, all who created this special brand of crazy that I am. But most of all, my girls. There isn't a single thing that I do in this world without thinking about them. There's nothing in this world to me that's more important. And every day that I get up, I think about setting an example for them. This ward is another example for them. You can do big things, no matter what the challenges are, so long as you keep the pilot light in your purpose. They're just getting to an age where they're slightly understanding what I do for a living, but for the past 8 to 9 years, I have always just said, I help people. And at the core, at the pilot light, that's what I do. So thank you, ITLA. It's a huge honor and one I will cherish forever. Keep the pilot light burning, stay passionate, purposeful, and crazy. Thank you. Thank you.
Steve,
Oh. I need taller shoes for this.
Awesome, thank you. And Steve, do you want to say a few words?
Yes, please.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Angie had a tight speech. Of course, mine's written on, and chicken scratch, so I'm gonna do my best here. Betsy Green. I told you yesterday at a function we were at that whenever I get discouraged in our work, and it's hard work that we all do in here, your smiling face, I think of that, I think of hearing your encouraging voice, and I feel your great spirit. So, thank you for really, in that important way, being very important in my life. This is an honor of a lifetime, obviously. I really have no words to describe, how this really, as a whole, feels. But I can tell you some parts of how it feels. And I would say one word that comes to mind is overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed by ITLA's membership's love and passion for justice. Everyone in this room shares that, and you can feel that. Just take a moment to look around and just the people that most of us know each other near. We know the amazing work that's been done, and we know the hard work that's put in, the heartache that has happened, but also the triumph. The passion for justice in this room is overwhelming. I feel overwhelmed by our membership's love and passion for helping each other in that quest for justice. Examples in this particular case and in others that I've experienced, in every phone call, text, discussion, listserv post, seminar presentation, member-given CLE, emotional support text or call, working on each other's legal issues and problems, mock appellate arguments. I really want to thank Mr. Zipes and Mr. Dietz for really teaching me, an amazingly effective mock-up of oral argument in this particular case. The amicus committee supporting the work of legislative affairs and all the other thousands of small and large, there really are no small contributions, all the contributions in this room. They number as the stars, they number in the billions. Just the people that are sitting in this room have achieved that for each other. I feel overwhelmed by the love of my family and my beautiful, amazing, radiant, and brilliant life partner, Michelle. I love you, my angel. I feel overwhelmed by the support, brotherhood, and friendship of my law partner, Kevin Smith. And I feel overwhelmed by my work family, Teresa Harisco, my office manager of 12 years, and my friend. Kevin and I could never have made it without you. And we owe you everything and more. My paralegals, Debbie Stout, Jennifer Ford, my scheduler, assistant, and wonderful friend, Nicole Thomas, my friend, Wendy London, that provided so much of the support for Angela and I to get this done, kept us going. So that's how I feel, overwhelmed by so many people who care about our mission for justice, and without whose love and support it would be impossible. And I am also overwhelmed by the amazingness of Angie Jones. Amazing, I wrote down some words because I'm not going to write down words. Amazing, compassionate, zealous for your clients, brilliant, relentless, will not stop until you have achieved justice or die trying. That's you. And you have coached me and inspired me to be a better person and lawyer by your caring and friendship, and you mean so much to me. Thank you, Anampara, truly the sister of my soul. my beautiful girl, Eva Serisc, and I took a 5,000-mile trip together this summer. It was really fun. She just turned 16. She pointed out that even at 16, she was a better driver than me. I experienced that I said there's a difference between skill and talent and experience. So we had a little bit of a debate there. We went from Chicago to San Francisco. We went to the Grateful Dead house, and we went to some other really cool places. And we drove it together, sharing the 5,000 miles, sharing the driving, sharing our music. And the thing about the 5,000-mile journey, it's kind of daunting, you know, at the beginning. That's a long trip, right? But you know what? Although it seemed daunting at the beginning, it really seemed easy at the end, because we had each other, and we had each other's support, and we had each other's love. And so we made up a phrase. It really, really kind of means, basically, I think, many hands make light work, which I think is really what this brother and sisterhood of ITLA is about at the end of the day. And our version of that was a phrase called light work, no reaction. And I know the camera guy's in back. I know I hit you up to help me out with this. But this is what my little girl gave me when Angie and I were honored with this award. And it just says, "Proud of you, Daddy," with a little heart. Light work, no reaction. I just love that, because it was just our way of saying many hands make light work. And when Angie and I received the honor, Eva gave this to me as her recognition of what Angie and I had done. In the end, we were the most overwhelmed. We were the most overwhelmed by the reach out and the love and support that we received. Mark, and so many other people in this room that supported this effort. My heart, and I know Angie's too, is full of not only this overwhelm, but of gratitude. Gratitude for all of you and for the bond we all share in this beautiful community we call ITLA. Thank you so, so much. We love you. We love ITLA.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Angela. And congratulations again.